Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. This is Life with Lina. I know I haven't recently posted a video. There has been a lot going on since the COVID-19 began. I came out positive for COVID-19. Me and my husband both took the test. We do have a 1-year-old here in our household, and we were gonna get her tested, but her pediatrician recommended not to get her tested because she most likely had it. So I'm gonna actually tell you guys how we found this out, how it began, any symptoms that I felt before getting tested, and everything. So it actually began the day that I began bleaching my hair. I was bleaching my hair and I started feeling this weird chest pain. It began with a chest pain, and I didn't know what it was, and I thought maybe that I wasn't smelling chemical. The bleach didn't have like really strong chemicals or anything like that, but I thought maybe I'm not smelling it or something, and it's going into my, like, I'm breathing it in and it's going into my system, which is causing my chest pain. I did tell my husband that I was getting some chest pain, and it didn't hurt that much. It was just a little bit, but I was concerned. And then that night, actually, I went to sleep and I was getting a little shortness of breath. And many of you guys don't know this about me, but I have a history of health issues, and at one point in my life I did have liquid inside my lungs, so it kind of reminded me of that. Long story short, that night it was difficult to breathe, and then the next day it happened again. Same chest pain, same shortness of breath. It was a lot worse though. A lot worse. I actually got to the point where I didn't know what I was gonna do. My husband was sleeping, my daughter was sleeping. I didn't want to wake them up. I didn't want to bother them. So I didn't want to wake him up and tell him what was going on. Honestly, it came to the point where I didn't know if I was gonna wake up. It was really bad. It was really bad. I remember that I could barely breathe. I sat up. I sent a text message to my husband even though he was laying next to me. I told him goodbye. I told him how much I loved him. I told him to take care of our daughter. I didn't know what was going on. I thought that maybe I was getting liquid inside my lungs again. But it was so bad. I said goodbye to my family. I remember kissing my husband while he was sleeping. I remember looking over at my daughter. But I was also kind of okay with it, you know. If it was my time, I got to marry an amazing husband. I got to have an amazing daughter. I was blessed with having her for a whole year. Because of my health issues, I honestly never thought that I would be able to have children. So and if I did, I didn't think, I honestly thought that I would die at childbirth. At some point during that night, I believe I blacked out. I just remember waking up in the morning because I heard my daughter cry. And I ended up putting her back to sleep. And then I didn't want to go back to sleep. I was still having shortness of breath. But it wasn't as awful. I did let my husband know. Obviously, he saw the text message and everything. He told me that if I needed to go to the hospital, that we would go. And then we actually didn't end up going because I ended up feeling better. It felt worse when I was laying down ready to sleep, but during the day it's tolerable. It was tolerable for me. And then the next day he went to work and I woke up to a message saying that his mom, which also lives in this household, tested positive for it. And I know, I mean, that moment that he told me that, in my heart I knew that that's what I had. You know, they do tell you about the symptoms. You hear it in social media, you hear, you know, on the news, on the TV about the symptoms, but you never really think that that's what it is, what you have. And I heard that you were supposed to have first soreness of throat, but that's not what I had. I started with the chest pain and then I got the shortness of breath. I never had sore throat. A couple days before I did have a fever, but it only lasted a day. So my daughter also had a fever. She only had a fever for one day during all of this going on, thank God. Every day I would be checking her temperature, every day making sure that she's taking enough fluids, making sure that she's not acting differently, making sure that she's eating all her food, making sure that I was cleaning everything and sanitizing everything. And so I have a list here of things that we did, and just to let you guys know. So for symptoms, like I mentioned before, I have shortness of breath. I had that chest pain. I did have a fever for just one day, just like my daughter. And for one day, I had really, really bad muscle pain. Like, it hurt so bad just to get up. So basically what we took while we were sick, we did take NyQuil to help us go to sleep. We took a Tylenol. When my daughter had her fever, I gave her Tylenol also. And we drank lots and lots and lots and lots of hot tea. I mean, I'm talking about a lot of cups of tea throughout the whole entire day and throughout the whole entire time we were sick. So, like I mentioned before, we did do some cleaning. Not just some, we actually did a lot of cleaning. The day that we tested positive, we had already been doing cleaning and sterilizing and sanitizing because there were 2 people in our household who would be going in and out. Actually, 3 people in our household who had jobs and would be going in and out. So we had to make sure that we didn't get exposed to this. I don't know how I could have had it, but it can happen. I mean, we were careful. We tried not to go out to stores because of our daughter. We wore masks, we wore gloves, we sterilized cars if we ever had to go out. We would make sure that our daughter would stay in the car and not go inside the stores at that time. We used hand sanitizer, we washed our hands constantly, but we still got it. So, things that we did when we found out that we were positive, we did clean our house, we sterilized it, we mopped every day, we broomed every day, we make sure we mopped with Clorox, we disinfected all the handles in our room. I mean, this was every day, and we also made sure, because there are a lot of people living in our household, we did make sure that everybody stayed in their own rooms, that we all stayed separately, because it could be that let's say, for example, my husband's sister that's living with us, it could be that I have it but she doesn't, so I don't want to give it to her. Or if we do have it and she has it, it might be a different timeline, like let's say that we just got it and she's getting over it, you know, like she's getting better, we don't want to get near her, you know, something like that. So we definitely tried to separate each other and stay inside our rooms. We did make sure to wash all our sheets. Luckily we have a bunch of different types of bed sheets. Be changing our bed sheets constantly, our covers, our pillows, pillow sheets. We have a lot of them, so we'd be washing them and using some clean ones. And also for the baby's crib, we would be cleaning out her sheets constantly also, because she was definitely our biggest priority. We did, like I mentioned before, wash our hands constantly and use a lot of hand sanitizer, mostly because we had her. We would be changing her diapers or wiping her face or getting near her, and we would always wear a mask near her because we weren't sure if she was exposed because we didn't test her. There was a big chance that she already was. Before you even start showing symptoms, you don't know. And I would be hugging her and cuddling with her and kissing her, and everybody around the house would be too. And like I mentioned before, she did have that one day that she did have a fever. Luckily, she was herself every day throughout it. I mean, me and my husband would both be going through pain, and she'd just be trying to walk all around, being a troublemaker. She was amazing. She was really amazing. But because she is just learning how to walk, she's grabbing everything. She's around the floor a lot, so we made sure to keep her in one room and be mopping that room constantly, all the handles, sterilizing, cleaning every single day, and cleaning with Clorox, also cleaning out her toys. Any toys that I couldn't, I wasn't able to clean, I would pack them away. And then I ended up washing them. Also did sterilize her bottles, because as mom was preparing her food, I would be touching her bottle, and I just wanted to make sure that I would always wash my hands and put hand sanitizer or wash them with soap very constantly, like to the point where my wedding ring, I had to take it off. I don't know if you guys could see. I took off my wedding ring. It started actually cutting through my skin. I don't know if it's because of all the washing the hands, the hand sanitizer. It like made a cut in my skin, and it was pretty bad. I didn't want to get infected, mostly because I was already infected with the virus, and I didn't want something else to go wrong, so I actually took it off for a while. So I did sterilize her bottles, and also made sure that we were in a very well ventilated room, and little by little we got through it. I mean, I want to say that it was around 3 weeks. The 3 weeks that we tried to keep isolated. We still try not to go out because we were already exposed to it. We don't want to get it again. My husband ended up returning to work. It was a long time. And you know, we did get the all clear by the doctors and everything, but still I haven't been able to see my mom. I did actually for Mother's Day go drop off a gift for her, but I was not able to hug her or anything because I didn't want her to infect her in case I'm still infected. We did get the all clear, like I said, but it's just my conscience. So I'm still staying at home with my daughter. My husband is going to work. He wears gloves, he wears his mask, and we just try not to go out at all. If we have to order anything, we try to order it online. I mean, that's how it is. It was a very, very horrible experience, and we definitely don't want to go through that again. This is just my personal experience and just what we went through here, and I hope this video helps someone. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Thank you.